As I was growing up, throughout my childhood, throughout my teenage years, I always knew that there was this something about me that was different, that was what you would call queer or strange, or what I felt was strange.
It's hard to explain when a person knows that they're gay. In general, I think it was just a feeling of being different from everyone else.
All my friends would always make jokes like "that's so gay" or "what a fag," and I was so afraid that if I said I was gay, people would make fun of me, would taunt me, would even try to beat me up. So I didn't say anything.
I always thought that growing up that there was no one who understood me.
The bullying never stopped in high school. It was always, why do you wear your hair like that? It's so girly. Why do you talk like that? It's so high. Why do you sit like that and cross your legs? Boys don't cross their legs like that. Girls cross their legs like that.
Someone in the school actually ridiculed me in public in front of 15 other people. Not only did he embarrass me in front of 15 people, the 15 people didn't say a word.
The only time I ever heard the word gay was when I heard the rabbi speak and talk about the terrible gays and the gay agenda and how they're an anathema and everything against the Torah and Judaism.
I was in an all-boys summer camp in the Catskills, and I was about 12 years old. I remember it was the summer before my bar mitzvah, and my counselor took me to the side one day and said he had to speak to me about something that was very important. He wanted to tell me that beyond my bunk, most of the older kids in the camp were talking about how my Shir Rabinowitz is a huge faggot.
As high school continued, I got more and more sad. I got more and more scared that I would never come out of it.
In high school, on yearbook picture day, I came to school and my hair was up in a big, it's called a chup, and I was wearing a vest. Nobody else was wearing a vest, but I was wearing a vest. It was a colorful vest. I was just trying so hard to express who I was, to try to say, here, this is who I am, this is Mordechai. And I came to school and the rabbi told me that there was no way that I could be in the high school yearbook picture like that. And he sent me home. My aunt happened to call the house, and she sensed that something was very wrong. And I think she also felt like an outsider when she went to high school. And she told me, she said, Mordechai, sometimes high school, sometimes day school, sometimes even college is just terrible and it's not fun. But I promise you that if you stick it out, it gets better. I promise you that there will be a time where you'll feel like you're wanted in this world, and you'll feel like you can give something to this world, and you'll feel like you're accepted and loved. But you just have to stick it out. You just have to live through this really hard time. And that was the exact thing I needed to hear. Because there it was someone in my family saying that they understood and they knew.
There were days where I didn't want to get out of bed because I knew that I felt that nobody wanted me in the world. Nobody wanted me around. Nobody wanted me to be in their lives. I was too different. I wasn't going to fit what my community wanted from me. I wasn't going to marry a woman. And I wasn't going to have the traditional modern Orthodox family and life that I wanted for myself. And I wanted it so badly.
I really wanted to change. I didn't want to be gay. I didn't think being gay was an option. So I went to reparative therapy, and I spent months, time and energy trying to change. And every time I didn't change, every day that went by, I really blamed myself. I really thought that it was my fault because I wasn't working hard enough. I wasn't trying hard enough. And according to everyone around me at the time, it was possible to change. So I was constantly blaming myself. Then just one day I realized it's not working. It's not working. It just doesn't go. It doesn't change. No matter how hard I try, no matter how hard I try to take my mind off these attractions, they're not going away. There was a time in my life that I actually tried ending my life. I swallowed a bunch of pills and I ended up in the hospital, and at that time I wanted to die because things were so bad. I felt like I didn't want to live anymore. But afterwards, in laying in that hospital bed, I realized, you know what? I have so much to live for. I have so many things that are good. I'm smart. I'm a nice person. I'm a good person. And I am a human being, and I want to live.
I think the greatest thing that happened when I went to college is that I realized that I really wasn't alone. That even in the yeshiva that I went to high school in, I wasn't the only gay person. There were other people in the yeshiva that I went to I just didn't know about. In every camp that I went to, and I felt bullied and I felt like nobody could be like me, nobody's going through the same thing that I went to. I found out later that at those same years in camp, there were other gay people.
When I moved to New York City, I met a lot of people through this great organization called JQY, Jewish Queer Youth. I met people who grew up in the Hasidic world, in the ultra-Orthodox yeshivish world, in the modern Orthodox world, and who became more or less religious over the course of their lives. And I realized that not only were there other people like me, there were dozens and dozens of other people like me.
They understood what it's like to be closeted, to be ashamed, to be embarrassed. And these people were just, they set an example for me because they were all just at peace with themselves. And that's something I never had.
Ultimately, it's about living your life. And the more you live your life based on who you are, the better friend, the better son, the better brother, the better Jew you will be.
With the help of good friends and a great support system, I started realizing that it's okay. I'm okay. I'm allowed to be the way I am.
5 years ago, when I was graduating high school, picking which yeshiva I would go to in Israel for the year, I never thought that I'd be sitting here today so happy and so proud of who I am. Because it's hard to be proud of who you are when your community tells you not to be. When you feel that no one around you will accept you.
If you stick through it, if you hang in there, if you live long enough, you'll find that not only do you grow older and more mature, but everyone around you also grows older and more mature. People do want to learn, and people do want to understand, and ultimately people do want to accept you.
In my last year of high school, I told my Rebbe, who I was very close with at the time, and still am today, and he was one of the most supportive people I have ever spoken to.
There are many rabbis, Orthodox rabbis, who go out of their way to tell people to be nice, understanding, sympathetic, and accept gay people in the Orthodox community.
I wish I could have told myself this. The love and support is there. It's out there. Your friends are out there, your teachers are out there, and even eventually I learned that my family was out there.
If I could now, as a 26-year-old, if I could have spoken to my 14-year-old self, or even my 19-year-old self in college, I would say, don't worry about being gay. That's who you are. That's how God created you. He created me as a Jew, and he created me as a gay person.
If you close your eyes right now and think about what it would feel like to lift that dark cloud right now off of you, to lift that burden, to lift that feeling of hopelessness and despair, and to think about how awesome it would be to actually be able to live who you are and still have friends and still have ties to your community and be respected, I can promise you and guarantee you that that feeling is 100 times better in real life.
My name is Chaim Levin.
My name is Ellie.
My name is Maishi Rabinowitz.
My name is Mordechai Levovitz.
My name is Justin.
I promise, it gets better.